Hi, I'm Alejandro Dominguez, and I'm here to share my project about awareness for the ocean. Let's get right into it. So, for this particular project, I decided to focus on offshore oil drilling and why. Why, you might ask? Well, I'll get into that later. But for now, offshore oil drilling is the practice of putting this giant platform out in the middle of the ocean and extracting oil. It's the polar opposite from extracting oil from on land. Some big companies for the oil industry include Bristow and Schlumberger. So going into it, offshore oil drilling works by sending out these seismic vessels. These seismic vessels will use sonar technology to locate where the oil is located in the ocean. And once they're located, they would build this giant metal platform. And in short, this platform's purpose is to extract the oil using a giant pipe that sucks the oil up into the surface. Fun fact: majority of these pipes are about 2,000 feet in length. For reference, the Chrysler Building is 1,000 around 1,000 feet in length. So imagine the Chrysler Building put on top of another Chrysler Building. That's how tall the pipes on the old rigs are. They're huge. So, what was the personal meaning in all this? Why did I choose this? A bit of info that I discovered while doing this project was the Deepwater Horizon spill. The Deepwater Horizon spill occurred back in the 2010s, early 2010s. It will happen near the Gulf of Mexico. It was a giant oil rig that exploded because of poor maintenance and other factors that factored into it. It took a very long time to clean this up, and as a result, the oil leaked everywhere. There's still oil on the beaches to this day found. Wildlife was hurt, and there's toxic chemicals still being released from this. And the research I did implied that 88,000 gallons of oil are commonly leaked into the ocean by not just this platform alone, but by all the oil rigs out there in the world. So there's clearly a problem that's going on here. Another things that I found quite personal was that it messes up the migration of animals. So animals will migrate underwater, but because these giant seismic oil rigs are extracting from the ground and making lots of movement and noise, these animals will get lost and they won't know where to go. It's not good. More about it is it takes 43.8 billion metric tons of CO2, which is very bad for the air pollution in the air. Experts agree that by 2050 we are going to be in trouble, and so if possible, I would like if they would be able to calm it down a bit, which I'll get into later. One more final thing is destroying animal habitats by continuing this practice. Oil rigs are destroying the life underwater, as per to say. Here's an example I found. Here is a coral reef where fish live. These habitats are very essential to fish. That's where they do their main base of operations. But after oil rigs dump these gallons and gallons of oil into the water, we get them like this. So in turn sight, coral reefs where fish live are being decimated because of these practices. Now, what am I proposing? So I'm proposing the hashtag AFO, or in the long term, awareness for the ocean. So oil drilling needs to be held in higher standards. At the current rate, we are bringing in a lot of money by doing this, but the consequences is that we're destroying wildlife, we're polluting the air, and we are heavily in danger of another Deepwater Horizon incident happening in the near future if we do not hold these oil rigs accountable for what they're doing. So AFO is a social media hashtag that will showcase all the oil rigs are doing to the planet Earth, as I said before. So the more knowledge of what's happening, the AFO purpose is to get the word out there about what these oil rigs are doing, because not many people actually know about oil rigs. They know more about the oil rigs on the oil stations on land. And so by doing this, I would love to take inspiration from WWF, which is the World Wildlife Foundation. They actually have a great website about that goes more into depth about why offshore oil drilling is hurting the environment and what it's doing for the economy, but at the same time, it's hurting our world lively economy, as in our fellow Earth beings, the fish, the birds, and eventually us are suffering because of this practice, and it's not going well. Another great platform I would say is ASU itself. ASU does a lot of volunteer work out that they send, and they get rid of the plastic in the ocean little by little. While there's never going to be fully ocean free of plastic, ASU's contributions to this, I believe, would also interest them, or any other college for that matter of fact, to provide aid to this movement, AFO. Moving on. One place I would like to personally take this campaign